Hi guys. Uh, Good morning everyone. You guys are able to see my screen, right?
Yeah, Suresh.
Yeah. Oh,
I can see it, yeah.
yeah. Hi. Okay. Let's get started. Let's get started with the today's session. Okay. Guys, everyone please be in a mute. Okay. By that, other people will not be having any disturbance. Okay. So in case if anyone want to be speak with me, you can make with the unmute and then you can get started speaking with me here. Okay. And while session is going on, if anyone is facing with the audio issues or anything, any kind of issues, just you can rejoin with the meeting. By that, the issues will be getting resolved here. Okay, right. Let's get started with the actual part. Okay. So if we take our very starting part, I mean, if I'm taking with the RPA, okay. So previously, just we have been discussed about with the very basic details in the first session, understanding that what exactly mean by RPA, right? So if I'm taking with the RPA, we are clearly mentioning that it is a robotic, right? Mentioning that robotic process automation. Right. So if I'm taking with the RPA mentioning that it is a robotic process automation. That means if you want to be get automated any kind of process, okay. So we are implementing with the automation for the process with the help of the one robot. So specifically, it is considering in a robot. Okay. So specifically, we are considering it as a robot. The reason is, as a normal human being, how we are interacting with the system. Okay. As a normal human being, how we are interacting with the system in a similar manner. Okay. So in a similar manner, our robo also will be interacting it. For that particular purpose, it is mentioning the robotic process automation. We can say that one human being will be equal to one robo, or we can say that one robo is equal to the one system. Right? So the concept is we are implementing automation only, but that automation we are implementing with the help of the one robo here. A robo means we are not taking any hardware robo. We are not manufacturing any of the hardware robo, which we are developing with the software robos only here. Okay, so that we need to be get understand to get automated any of the particular process, how we need to be develop that software robo. So to develop a software robo, first we need to be understand that what is the tool we have to be use it. Because if I'm taking with the RPA itself is not like an automation tool. Under the RPA, you will be getting with the different type of the tools here. Okay, so under RPA, we are getting with the different type of tools here. In that one, we are mentioning that Blue Prism. Okay, so one we are mentioning that Blue Prism, and one will be mentioning that automation anywhere. Okay, and one will be mentioning that UI path. Okay, so which it will be mentioning that UI path. Okay, so one is Blue Prism, one will be mentioning that automation anywhere, and one will be taking with the UI path, and one will be taking with the open span here. So these are the four major RPA tools which the market has been occupied. Okay, but it's not like that we are having only four RPA tools here. If we search in a Google, I will be getting with the lot of RPA tools here, but the major market has been occupied with these tools here. Okay, but again, if I'm comparing these four also, okay, these two tools has been occupied with the more market. And when you compare these two also, the major market has been occupied with the Blue Prism here. Okay, so because of the some security features and because of the some more advantages in Blue Prism, we are having with the more market here. If we search in a Google or if we search in any of the job websites, okay, or anything, we can see that having with the more openings related to the Blue Prism here. Okay, now if we take our training also, we are taking care about with the Blue Prism only. We are not getting trained on any of another RPA tool here. And moreover, for getting started your career with the RPA or for getting with the job in RPA, it's not like mandatory that, okay, so it's not like mandatory that we need to be learned with all the RPA tools here. Okay, there is no requirement to take with the combination of any of the tools here. Based on the requirement, we can take any of one particular RPA tool, then we can get started implementing with the actual things here. So now, as part of our requirement, which we are getting started with the Blue Prism, and we are understanding that how we can create our automation scripts with the help of the Blue Prism here. Okay, now let's get understand on it how exactly we can create or we can develop automation scripts with the help of the Blue Prism. So for that, if you want to be develop any automation script with the help of the Blue Prism, before going to that, we need to be understand architecture of the Blue Prism. Okay, so we need to be get understand how exactly the Blue Prism architecture will be working. Based on that, we'll get understand developing an automation scripts here. Okay, right, now we can see here. Okay, so if I look into the today's session, we'll get understand about with the Blue Prism architecture, and we'll be understanding about some basic features related to the application modular, and then we'll get understanded how we can develop a basic object in Blue Prism. Nothing but automating with the basic scenario in Blue Prism here. Okay, right, now we can see. So this is what which we will be taking with the Blue Prism architecture. Okay, so this I will be taking with the Blue Prism architecture, how exactly it will be working. The very first thing is Blue Prism will be maintaining one centralized database. Okay, so Blue Prism will be maintaining one centralized database that will be taking with the SQL server. Okay, so here whenever you are working with the Blue Prism, as part of the installation, we have to install this SQL server. Once installation has been completed, as part of the learning or as part of the working, we doesn't bother about anything related to the database. Okay, so don't get confused, like as it is mentioning like database, we need to be become any expertise in a database to learn with the Blue Prism. No concept of that. Okay, so as part of the architecture, it is maintaining with the database only, but for learning with the tool or for working with the tool, we doesn't bother about any of the database, and we doesn't bother about any of the programming language. Okay, right. Now, from this database, majorly, you will be getting with the three tabs here. One is Blue Prism Studio. We used to be calling a Studio tab. Okay, So I'll show you the application. I'll show you the tool also. Once we done with the login into the tool, mainly you will be able to see with the Blue Prism Studio. Okay. And if I'm taking with the Blue Prism Studio, this is the main heart of our tool. 80% of our activities will be done here only. Okay. So 80% of our work will be done here only. And after that, we'll be moving into the control room. We can say that related to the execution. Okay. While working with the Blue Prism, we are having with the possibility to take a different type of the execution. So that different type of execution we will be taking into the control room. At last, we will be taking with the release manager. That is nothing but making with the release files here. So once all our development has been completed, everything has been automation has been completed, we need to be generate with the release files, right? So for generating with the release file, you will be taking with the help of this particular tab. Okay. So majorly 80% of the time it will be spending with the Blue Prism Studio. And after that, it will be taking with the control room, and from the control room, it will be taking into the release manager. Okay. Now, if I'm taking into the very detailed about with the Blue Prism Studio. Okay. So if I'm taking with the very detailed in Blue Prism Studio, under the Blue Prism Studio. Okay. So under the Blue Prism Studio, it will be getting with the two things. One is Object Studio and one is Process Studio. Okay. So under the Blue Prism tab, you will be getting with the two things. One is Object Studio and one is Process Studio. Object Studio, it has been used to develop an objects. Process Studio, it has been used to develop an process. What is mean by object, what is mean by process, going forward we'll be understanding in a very detail. For now, you can get understand that Object Studio has been used to develop an object. Process Studio has been used to develop a process here. Okay. Now, again, if I'm taking with the Object Studio, okay, under the Object Studio, it will be getting with the different option. That is, first we are taking with the one Blue Prism tool. Okay. So if I'm taking our Blue Prism tool need to be interact with the application. Okay. So whenever you are taking with the automation, okay. So whenever we are taking with the automation, whatever our Blue Prism tool is there, our Blue Prism tool need to be interact with the application. Okay. So to get interacted with the application, so to get interact with the application, in between, it will be taking with the help of the application modular. Okay. So to get interact with the application, in between, we are taking with the help of the application modular. Okay. So let's understand about with the more for this here. Okay. So for now, clear about this architecture part. Any clarifications on this? Okay, right. Fine. Now we can see here. So this is what I will be taking with the Blue Prism tool. Okay, so if I'm taking with the login about with the Blue Prism tool, this is what I will be taking with the Blue Prism tool. Okay, so in the coming sessions, I will be discussing in a very detail. Okay, so in the coming sessions, we'll be discussing in a very detail about tool installation, and to get installed with the tool, what are the softwares we have been required, how the installation need to be done, everything I will be discussing it, nothing to worry about on it. Okay, so even though this Blue Prism tool is a licensed tool, we'll be providing with the license also. Okay, so don't get worried about anything related to the installations or anything related to the license or anything. So related to the installation, everything I will be providing all the required softwares, and at the same time will be providing installation document also. By that, you guys can very easily get installed with the tool here. Okay, right. Once tool got installed, it will be taking with the login into the tool. We have been mentioned that majorly you will be having with the studio tab. Okay, so the major part is it will be taking with the studio tab. Okay, whenever we are taking with the studio tab, under the studio tab we will be getting with the two things. One is process and one is object. Okay, so under the studio tab majorly we'll be getting with the two things. One is process and one is object. Okay, so if I'm taking with the object, okay, so if I'm taking with the object, it has been used. Okay, so if I'm taking with the object studio, okay, so if I'm taking with the object studio, it has been used to develop an object. We can say that one object is equal to one program. Okay, we can say that one object is equal to one program in languages. Most of the time you will be heard about with the Java, .NET, C#, anything, right? So if I'm taking with the Java, we used to be mentioning that write a Java program or write a .NET program. In a similar manner, if I'm taking with the Blue Prism terminology, no concept of mentioning that write a program. It will be mentioning that develop an object. If we take programming languages, it is considered as a program. As part of the Blue Prism, it will be mentioning as a object. So according to the requirement, we need to be get understand that how we can develop an object here. So let's get understand on it how exactly we can develop an object here. Okay, what is the question here? Does Blue Prism work with Mac OS or only PC? No, for now Blue Prism is restricted to only Windows only. Okay. You will be able to get work with the only Windows OS, not with the Mac here. Okay.
Suresh, I do have a question. So when you say Blue Prism develop an object, so does that mean internally it will write a program?
Right. So here, when we are saying that developing an object means developing an object is nothing but we are developing in a program, but the program is not like into the programming languages. Okay. So everything is just a drag and drop. No concept of coding here. Okay, so that was main objective of the Blue Prism. We are not taking any coding or we are not using any programming languages. Everything we are taking with the just drag and drop. With the help of the drag and drop, we are able to perform the respective activities. Okay. Anyway, I'll be giving the one scenario now. By that, you will get clear picture how we are developing an object. For now, we can understand that while working with the Blue Prism, there is no concept of programming and no concept of the coding. Everything it will perform the drag and drop activities. Okay, is that clear? So is that clear? Is that your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, any other questions from other people? Okay. Right. Now we can see here. We'll understand that how we can develop an object. Okay. So to develop an object. Okay. So to develop an object or to design an object, first we are taking with the Blue Prism tool. Okay. I'm taking with the Blue Prism tool. If I'm taking with the Blue Prism tool, Okay, so if I'm taking this blue prism tool, this blue prism tool need to be interactive with application. That means for the blue prism tool, you will be mentioning that open application, then application has to be open. For the blue prism tool, you will be mentioning that type username. In application, it has to be type username. Here you will be mentioning that type password. In application, it has to be type and a password. But whenever we are working with the blue prism tool, this blue prism tool directly it cannot interact with the application. Okay, so if I'm taking with the blue prism tool, it cannot interact with the application. I mean, directly it cannot interact with the application, right? For that particular purpose, in between, we are taking with the help of the application modeler. Okay, so going forward, we'll be discussing in a very detail about application modeler. For now, you can get understand that application modeler is acting as a mediator between the tool and application. That means, for example, now this is the blue prism tool. Let me take one application. Application is nothing but the project. Okay, so whatever the application you have been decided to get automated, you will be taking that respective application. Okay, now we can see here application is available and then tool is available. These two things need to be get interacted, but by default these two things cannot be interacted. For that, in between you will be taking with the help of the application modeler. Okay, so with the combination of these three things, right, with the combination of these three things, you will be getting developing an object. So whenever you are working with the whole blue prism to develop any object, you will be taking with the combination of these three things here. Okay, now let's get understand on it how exactly we can get work with the combination of these three things here. Okay, right, now let's look into this. First, let me explain with the scenario what exactly the scenario going to automate it. The scenario is, first we have to be open application. Once application got open, okay, once application got open, we need to be type username. After that, we need to be type password. Okay, so we need to be type with the username and then we need to be type with the password. Then you will be taking with the login activity. Once login has been completed, okay, once login has been completed, after that we need to be take with the logout. Okay, so we need to be open application, type username, type password, taking with the login activity and taking with the logout activity. So these steps need to be get automated. Now we can see how exactly we can get automated this particular steps here. Okay, right, let's look into this. So any clarifications before getting started? Okay, now we can see here. First we are taking with the studio tab. Already we mentioned that our major activities will be taking studio tab. Under that, one will be taking with the process studio and one will be taking with the object studio. First we will be working with the object studio. After that we will be working with the process studio. Okay, now let me create an object. Creating an object is nothing but creating in a one program. Okay, so in Java, .NET, C or C++, we can say that program. Here we are mentioning the object. Now, just you can take with the right click. Once you're done with the right click, you will be getting the option is create object. Okay, So one is directly it can create object, or for our easy understanding purpose, I'm mentioning that create group. Okay, so if you want to be directly create the object, you can create with the object. For easy understanding purpose, I'm creating with the one folder. Group is nothing but one folder, mentioning with the folder name. Okay, mentioning with the folder name. Under this folder, okay, under this folder, I will be creating the object. Okay, so I will be taking with the right click activity, mentioning the create object. Then it is asking for name. You can provide any name based on your comfortable, whatever the name you want to be get provided, it can get provided, doesn't make any problem. You will be providing with the name. And then description. Description is not like mandatory. If required, if you are comfortable, you can provide it. Otherwise, if you are not mentioning also, doesn't make any problem. Okay, right. Now you will be clicking on the finish. Okay. Now once you have been click on the finish, you will be able to see that. Okay. Once you have been click on the finish, you are able to see that object got created. Now let's take with the double click. Okay. Once you're done with the double click, your Object Studio will get opening it. Now we can see here Object Studio is getting opening it. So here Object Studio window is totally different, and our Blue Prism main window is totally different. We are getting two different windows. Okay, so getting two different windows here. So one is we will be taking with the Blue Prism main window. Okay, so one you are taking with the Blue Prism main window. Another one is which it will be taking with the Object Studio. Okay, so we are getting with the two different windows here. Okay, now if I'm taking with the double click on it, this is what our Object Studio. You are able to see with the name clearly mentioning that Object Studio, mentioning with the name of the object we provided. And here by default, you will be getting three tabs here: Initialize tab, Cleanup tab, Action 1. By default, you will be getting with the three tabs here. Okay, so if I'm taking with the three tabs, okay, so if I'm taking this particular three tabs, okay, we cannot perform anything on Initialize tab, and we cannot perform anything on Cleanup. Okay, everything it will be taking into the Action tab. By default in Initialize tab and Cleanup, we are not performing anything. All the activities we are taking into the Action 1. Okay, so all the activities we are taking into the Action 1 only. Now here we will be taking all the respective things here. Now we can see here. By default, you are able to see the two options here. This is we are taking within the one is start and one is end. These things are considered as a stages. Okay, so whenever you are working with the Blue Prism tool, under the Blue Prism tool you will be getting with the stages. Okay, we can understand like stages are equal to methods or functions in programming languages. Okay, so if we take any programming languages, we used to be say that use within the method, right, or function. In a similar to that, if I'm taking with the Blue Prism, you will be taking with the help of the stages. The whole design will be done with the help of the stages only. For the whole Blue Prism to perform any activities, you will be taking with the help of the stages. In that, one you are taking with the start stage, and one you will be taking with the end stage. Okay, so by default, by default we are getting with the start stage, and which we will be getting with the end stage. Okay, by default we are getting with the start stage, and which we will be getting with the end stage. We can understand like start stage has been used to take with the execution, end stage has been used to stop with the execution. Okay, so start stage has been used to start with the execution, end stage has been used to stop with the execution. So now to perform our particular step with the help of the stages, now we can see you are able to see the list of the stages. With the help of these stages you will be developing an object. No concept of coding, just you will be taking with the help of these stages, and you will be designing the object. Now we can see what is the first step. It was mentioned open application, right? Now we are already mentioning that whenever we are working with the Blue Prism tool, directly we cannot interact with the application. In between we need to be take application modular. Now we can see here by default you are able to see application modular. Okay, in Object Studio by default you are getting this option. We are not performing anything. Once you take this, click on it, it will get open application modular. So now we need to be take with the setup of application modular. Okay, so we need to be take with the setup of application modular. Now we can see how we are doing it. First, we are creating new application modular, taking with the name. In case if you want to be change it, we can change it. Click on the next button. It is asking what kind of application you are automating. So with the help of the Blue Prism, we can get automate any kind of application. It is clearly asking that what kind of application you are automating it. Now, for now, we are taking with the browser-based application. Okay, so for now we are mentioning the browser-based application. Okay, next, click on the next button. Okay, so once we have been click on the next button, it is asking is it browser is been already open or Blue Prism has to be open. Okay, so is it browser has been already open or Blue Prism has to be open? Now we are mentioning that Blue Prism has to be open. Okay, so mentioning that Blue Prism has to be open from the executable file. Okay, right. Click on the next button. Now it is asking what kind of browser you have to be open. Is it IE browser, Chrome browser, Firefox browser? Blue Prism will be supporting for all browsers. Okay, Blue Prism will be supporting for all browsers. According to the requirement, we need to be get understand which browser need to be used. Okay, so according to the requirement, we need to be get understand which browser need to be get used here. Okay, right. Now we can see here, clicking on the next button. Then it is asking URL. Okay, we are working web-based application, right? Whenever you are working with the web-based application, we need to be provide application URL. In case if you are working with the Gmail application, it will be providing Gmail URL. If you are working with the Facebook application, it will be providing Facebook URL. In case if you're automating Flipkart, that means based on your requirement, whatever the application you want to be get automated, you will be mentioning that application URL. Okay, so for now, as part of our project requirement, we are providing this application URL. Click on the next button. These things will be the optional. If required, you can provide it. Otherwise, you can click on the finish. Here it is asking whether your application is 32-bit or 64-bit. But whatever it may be, simply you will be taking with the default option. Now you will be clicking on finish. Okay, so now you will be taking with the finish activity. Once you have been click on the finish, okay, now once you have been click on the finish, you will be able to see this application model. Okay, so once you have been click on finish, now we can see that you are able to see the application modular, and by default you are able to see the button is launch. Okay, by default you are able to see the launch. That means once you have been click on the launch button, it's need to be get open the browser with the respective application. Now we can see here. First I'm closing the browsers opened by manually. Okay. Let's click on the launch button. Once I click on the launch button, you will be able to see that getting opening with the IE browser with the respective application URL. Okay, then we can understand that whatever the setup we have been done is the correct one. Okay, so we need to be understand that whatever the setup we have been done is the correct one. Otherwise, we need to be cross check about with the setup of application modular. Now we can see you are able to get open with the browser and at the same time able to get open that application. Okay, so this is what which it will be taking with the setup of application acting, I mean, it will be acting as a mediator between the tool and then application. Now we can see what is the option you are getting? Identify. First you are getting with the option is launch, right? Now in a place of launch, you are getting with the identify. Once you have been click on identify, once you are click on identify, you are able to see the highlighting the green color. That means based on your steps, whatever the element you have been required, you need to be keep the cursor at that particular element. Then automatically Blue Prism will be understanding to get identify that element. Okay, now we can see. For now we require text box, right? This is login name, nothing but username. You will be keeping the cursor exactly at this text box, and from the keyboard, okay, from the keyboard I'll be taking control left click. Now you will be able to see that it was taking the respective attributes. We have not done anything from our side. Everything automatically application modular will be taking care of it. So it is understanding that to get identified this username text box, whatever the attributes it has been required, automatically it will be taking that respective attributes. For the confirmation, you can click on highlight. Now we can see it is getting highlighting it. Once again I'm clicking on highlight, it is getting highlighting it. So until unless it is highlighting, we don't have any issues. Now this is I will be mentioning that which I will be taking with the username. Okay, right. Now we can see. I will be clicking as a one more element. We are having password text box, right? Mentioning with the password. Now I'll follow the same step. Again, you can click on identify, taking with the password text box. From the keyboard, you will be taking control left click. Okay, then you will be clicking on highlight. It is getting highlighting it. Okay, and after that we required one more element, right? That I will be taking button, which I will be taking with the login. Click on identify, taking with the login. Control left click. Click on this highlight, getting highlighting it. Okay. And once login has been completed, we need to be take with the logout activity. So to perform the logout also, we need to be identify that particular element, mentioning the logout. Okay, now we can see. Click on identify, taking with the logout. Okay, control left click. Click on highlight, highlighting it. Okay. Now you will be taking apply. Okay. So this is how which it will be getting identifying with the elements. Okay. So related to the requirement. So according to the requirement, whatever the elements we have been required, we need to be get identify that particular elements. Okay. So whatever the elements we have been required, you will be getting identifying all the elements. Now you will be taking with the design activity. Now we can see here, I'm clicking on apply. Okay. Now activity of application modular is completed. Okay. Now we can see how we can take with the design. So to take with the design, first we will be taking with the navigate stage. We need to be open application, right? So to open application, we will be taking navigate stage. No concept of programming. Just take with the double click on it for easy understanding, mentioning that open application. We already done application modeler, right? You are able to see those options here. Okay. Now these options I will be taking with the drag and drop. Then I will be taking with the option is launch. Okay. Everything automatically Blue Prism will be suggesting it what are the options need to be used. Now we can click on off. Once application got open. Okay. So once application got open. Right. So once application got open, next we need to be type username. So for typing username, nothing but to enter the data, you are taking with the right stage. Okay. So to get enter with the data, you will be taking with the help of the right stage. Now we can see here mentioning the type underscore username. Okay. Now you are mentioning that what is the username you have to be type it, and you have to be clearly mention that where it has to be typed. That is already you spied in application modular, right? You're taking the drag and drop. Now click on OK. Again you have to be type password, right? That is a text box only. So you're taking with the right stage. Perform double click on it, mentioning that you will be taking type underscore password, providing that respective password that you will be taking with the admin, and you will be taking with the password which it will be taking with the drag and drop of this password. Okay. Again click on OK. Now we are opening application, typing username, typing password. Need to be click on button, right? So to perform the click activity, you will be taking with the help of the navigate stage. Perform double click on it. Mention that click underscore login. This is the click activity, right? You can see. I will be taking with the login. Whenever we are taking with the spy of this login, automatically it will suggest it. Now what it will be suggesting? One you can take with the click center. One is you can take with the single click, or one you will be taking with the double click. Right? So one you will be taking with the single click activity, and one you will be taking with the double click activity. Now we are mentioning the single click only. Okay. And after that, we need to be click on the logout. That is also click activity. So again, you will be taking with the one more navigate stage, taking drag and drop. Perform double click on it. The says you will be mentioning that click underscore logout. Then you will be taking with the main root node. Okay. And they will be taking with the click center. Okay. At last, we need to be close application, right? So to close application, again you will be taking navigate stage. Perform double click on it, mentioning that close application. To close application, you're taking with the main root node. To open application, we are taking with the option is launch. To close application, you will be taking with the terminator. Okay. So to close application, you will be taking with the terminator. Now click on OK. And after that, you will be taking with the end activity. Okay. Right. Now we can see. Now we need to be take with the connectivity, right? So to take with the connectivity, we'll be taking with the help of the link stage. Now you will be taking with the connectivity step by step. First, start stage 2, open application. Okay. So you are taking with the connectivity, start to open application, and then type username, and then type password, login activity, logout activity, close application, end activity. Now let's get executed. So to take with the execution, first we will be clicking on the reset button. Before taking with the execution, always we need to be take with the reset button. Then you will be taking this run button. If I'm taking with the run, you will be getting different options: normal mode, fast mode, and slow mode. Initially, we'll go with the slow mode. So initially, you will be taking with the slow mode. Once you are comfortable, you will be working with the fast mode. Okay, now I'm keeping in a slow mode. Let me close all the IE browsers which is already open. Okay, now I'm taking with the reset. Let's take with the run. Now we can see. Once I'm taking with the run, you will be able to see that application is getting opening it. Okay, and getting typing the username. You can see getting highlighting in the yellow color which is executing. Taking with the login activity, logout activity, and close application, end activity. Let me run once again. I'm taking with the reset, run it. Getting starting with the execution, opening with the application. After that, it will be typing with the username, typing with the password, taking with the login activity, and which it will be taking with the logout, close the application. Okay, so this is how we need to be get develop different kind of the automation scenarios while working with the Blue Prism. Okay, so it's not like very difficulty here. Very simply we can understand it. We doesn't require any expertise in the programming. No concept of programming. Just we need to be take with the help of these stages, and we need to be understand how we can develop our automation scripts here. Okay, so clear up to this. Any clarifications from here?
Hello?
Yeah, carry on.
It's a small note. So when you open the application modular, you gave the input as a URL, right?
Right.
So how did Blue Prism know that it should open Internet Explorer with just the URL?
Yeah. So here now we can see whenever we are taking with the application modular. Okay. So this application modular is an inbuilt of this Blue Prism. I mean inbuilt to the Object Studio. Whenever I'm taking with the open application, now we can see here. Whenever I'm taking with the open application, it is taking with the. This is our main root node, right? Now we can see this one I have been taken with the drag and drop of it. I'm taking with the launch. Launch means Blue Prism will be understanding that it has to be get open the browser and open the application. How it is understanding is it is referring this element. What is element we have been provided? Login underscore underscore logout 20. This is the element. This element, the same name is your application modular name. Now we can see here. Let me open our application modular. If I'm opening the application modular, what is the name you are having? Login underscore logout. Now here you can see this is the application name. Under this it is having with the browser name. Under this it is having with the application URL. So now whenever I'm taking this navigate stage and I'm using with the launch activity, it is understanding that need to be get open this IE browser, and in this IE browser need to be get open this URL. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah, I understood. Thanks. So I can change it later if you wanted to Chrome or Firefox, right?
Right, we are having the possibility. So that what we are clearly mentioning, that if I'm taking our Blue Prism tool directly, we are not interacting tool with application. In between, we are taking help of application modular. This part will be acting as a mediator between the tool and application. Okay. Any more clarifications?
Suresh, when we enter the credentials, we have entered only the one credential. So does that tool provide in flexibility to enter a bunch of credentials?
Yeah. So for now, we have been given only one credentials. In case if you're having more credentials, we can take with the help of the Excel file. In a Excel file, whatever the credentials you want to be type it, we can provide all the required credentials. So one by one, we can read it and then we can enter into the application. We are having that possibility. So going forward, we'll be discussing about Excel files and all the activities, all the advanced concepts. We'll be discussing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Suresh, I have it.
Yeah.
Okay. Some applications have captures, right? So Blue Prism handles that kind of inputs.
Can a little bit loud? Your voice is very low.
No, some applications have captures, right? Let's say IRCTC and all
Okay,
images
capture your
captures.
topic. Yeah. So we are having the possibility while working with the Blue Prism, we are having with the one new feature called as a surface automation. So with the help of surface automation, we can handle with the scenarios related to the capture. Capture is nothing but we can understand like it is a one image. From that image, we have to be read with the text. So while working with the Blue Prism, we are having with the possibility to get handle that kind of scenarios also. Okay. So we'll be discussing about surface automation and this scenario also will be covered. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So guys, how exactly our training will be done is we have been organized in a very structured manner. Okay. So you are taking with the very basic things, and for your practice purpose, you will be getting with the assignment list also the vacancy. So today what we have been discussed is just we have been taken login and logout scenario. Next tomorrow we'll be taking with the some more futures, and after that we'll be taking with the some more stages. First we will be getting very comfortable how we need to be work with the different kind of the stages here, and after that we'll be understanding that how we can design some basic flows, and after that we'll be discussing about with the end-to-end flows here. Then we will be discussing about Excel database and working with the combination of Excel with Blue Prism, and then we will be designing with the end-to-end flows here. Once everything has been completed, first we will be completing with the web-based applications. After that, we will be taking with the window-based applications. First, we will be taking with the end-to-end flows. Then we will be taking with the designing activities, combination, integrations here. Okay. So I can say you that our training will be getting started from very basic level, and which it will be closing with the very advanced level here. Okay, so nothing to worry about with the training part. By the completion of our training, everyone will be getting in a comfortable to get work with the Blue Prism tool here. Okay, so clear about all the details. Yeah.
So Suresh, I do have a question. So after the completion of the training, will that enable us to go for the certification also, or there is some another training that we need to do before we go for certification?
No. So whatever the training we are doing it, this training will be the more enough to clear with the certification. Okay. So certification, you will get different type of certification. First, we need to be clear the basic certification. So to clear that certification, this training will be the more enough. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more questions before exiting from the meeting? Yeah.
So after completing the course, do you offer any real-time examples like real-time projects? as an
No,
example?
it's not like after completing. It's not like after completing. So our training itself is a project training. No concept of like taking with the theory part and practical part. So today I taken one application, right? So we'll be taking this particular project. I will be giving. So all the activities in real time, how exam will be getting started from the scratch and how it will be taking into the relatively list in a similar manner. Here also we are getting trained in the same acting here. Blue Prism. Okay. So while working with the real time, how the Blue Prism will get started and how the Blue Prism project will end it in a similar manner, our training also will be done. So this is like, we can say that project training, no concept of a theory part and no concept of any other things. Okay. Yeah. So guys, it's not like I'm taking with the very first batch. You can see that almost till now have been completed with 19 plus batches in the Blue Prism. It's not like I'm taking with the first batch or the second batch. So while working with the real time, how the tool will be getting working it, and for the interview point of time or related to the certification, what kind of the scenarios need to be covering it, in that manner have been designed our programs here. Okay, so nothing to worry about anything. So I can see you that by the completion of our training, everyone will be getting in a comfortable to get work with the Blue Prism tool, and our training also will be getting started from very basic level, and then it will be closing with the very advanced level here. Okay, so clear from everyone?
So this is Patrick. Is there like a schedule? Are we meeting every day? And also, when do we get access to the environment so we can play around?
Yeah, I'll be giving the details on it. Okay,
Right,
I'll provide the details about with the access and everything.
Okay, and are we meeting every day this week, or is it, what's the schedule?
Yeah. Yeah, guys. Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
What is the schedule this week? Are we meeting every day?
Yeah, it's every day like daily 1 hour session. So daily we'll be going with the same timings only. So daily 1 hour session from Monday to Saturday.
Monday through Saturday, and how many weeks?
It will take around 25 hours.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. In case of anything, we'll do tomorrow. Okay. So meet you tomorrow. Thanks everyone for attending the session. Yeah. Discuss. Thank you guys. Tomorrow.